Hello everyone. Today marks the beginning of Alumni Talkies, a SCMHRD podcast for alumni. With this podcast, we want to take you on the current batch of students on a ride with our alumni to their batch stories and their journey through corporate. A journey teaches a lot many things than getting to the destination. So strap on your earphones and let's begin. My name is Shruti and I'm delighted to be your host for today for the very first episode of our alumni podcast series, an initiative by Alumni Relations team. With us today from the batch of 2013 is Mr. Sumit Chadgal and Avek Srivastava. Sumit has worked in Aditya Birla Retail for around 2 years, and for the past 5 years, he is working as a technical program manager at Amazon. Avek has worked in Idea Cellular as a product marketing manager for around 5 years and currently working as a sales manager at Amazon. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi Shruti, I'm good. How
Good.
are you?
I'm good too.
Hey, Avek.
Hey, hi Sumit.
Okay, so let's aboard the Nostalgia Express. Tell us one of your fondest memory from college days and describe the 2 years at SCMHRD and what it meant to you.
It's a wonderful initiative from the Alumni Relations team, so kudos to that. And thanks for connecting with us and giving us the opportunity to speak to the students.
Our pleasure.
So I'll just take your questions. So the first question was, what has been your fondest memory and
Right.
how do you define SCMHRD? I think I'll take the
Yes.
second one first.
Okay.
I think, how do I define SCMHRD and the whole MBA, 2 years of MBAs? And it has been for me, it has been an experience, right? Yes, there has been academic curricular attached to it, but the way I look at those 2 years, it has been full of experiences. There have been highs, there have been lows in that journey, and eventually it helped me become a good person, like good in a professional front and on a personal front as well. I can tell you a
Right.
few examples, right? From a professional front, if you see that the SCMHRD exposes you to a lot of guest lectures, a lot of corporate
Correct.
PPTs. So you know how different departments within an organization work, what needs to
Right.
be done to have a project successful, right? So that really opens up your mind. So that's from a professional front, and also from a professional perspective. What is required is for anyone in the system to be on toes, right? So the
Right.
SCMHRD system is something that ensured that we are on our toes always, because there were assignments going on, there were guest lectures, PPTs, classes, and there was no time to it, right? So during
Right.
our time, I'll have to check what is going on right now in SCMHRD, but we used to have classes starting 9 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock in the night, right? And then
Right.
on top of it, there were assignments that we need to submit, right? And so
Right.
the whole system ensured that you are always on top of your feet and you have your A game on, and which is a very important aspect entering into a corporate world, because that is what is expected in the corporate setup, right?
Correct.
That's from the
Yes.
professional front. From a personal front, I would say that the varied kind of people that you meet in the college, right? You're going to have very varied and rich experience just talking and conversating with them, right? So eventually, what happens is your thought process changes a lot, and you really start appreciating the other viewpoints as well, right? So that definitely helped me to improve and become a better version of myself, right? So it's just the journey of experiences that has definitely helped me improve as an individual, both on professional front and on personal front,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I think I completely agree, Avik, on this one. So, the opportunity to, I think, to make friends, it inculcates the peer group learning. So I remember a quote, from Jim Rohn. So your average of 5 people you spend most of your time with. So, when you're around, such smart, skilled and brilliant folks, so automatically, your bar is raised by default.
Yeah.
Correct.
And just like Avik, I also feel lucky to be around those folks, while being in SCMHRD, and because of which I think I was fortunate that some of their brilliance has in me as well.
Okay. So there was a lot of excitement when my friends from the team got to know that I will be talking to you today.
Hey,
And the main question,
Shruti, the
yeah.
fondest memories are left. I think let us go into
Oh,
that route,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
we want to
Yes,
remember those
Yeah,
fond memories.
yes.
Yeah, and I would like to hear from Sumit
uh,
here.
Hear you.
okay, got it. So yeah, I think the most spoken question over the last 7 months is like, are you able to hear me? Yeah, I think coming coming back to the fondest memories. I think there are plenty of memories, but I would there are a couple of them which are always on top of my mind. And I was talking to Aweg other day as well. So I think in one of the placement interviews, in my resume I had written that I take care of my body and and all. So the person on the other side, from the company, she said, how many push-ups you can do? I said, okay, around at that point of a time, 30. Said, okay, why don't you show me? So, I removed my coat and I did like 30 push-ups. The moment I was done, so she was like, can you do 10 more? And I did 10 more. She said, can you do 10 more? So, end of the interview, I had done like 50 push-ups, but even then, I could not get through that company. So I think that so that was one of the the fondest memories, and I'll share the next one after Avik. So you want to go now,
Yeah,
Avik?
absolutely. Like I said, lot of memories, but I think there are a couple pops up in the mind when you talk about the fondest ones. I think I think it was one of the marketing class, and Prantosh Banerjee sir was taking that lecture, and we were just discussing on the importance of second level of association in marketing, right? So essentially, what it means is like how you promote the underlying feature or importance of the product to get the sales and business up. So I'll just tell you, the first level of association is what is the primary function of that product. So for example, for a soap, the first level of association becomes it keeps you clean, right? And
Right,
then
right,
what happens when you are clean? Then it keeps you healthy, right? So that's the second
right,
level of association. Okay, so
right.
so he just wanted to tell us about how much important that second level of association in marketing is, and he took the example of soap, of Lifebuoy soap, and he kind of took us through this whole journey of what the Lifebuoy marketing team did, and they understood the second level of association. They came up with a jingle which made this soap bestseller, not only in India but in the entire world, not for 1 year, 2 year, but continuously for 40 years. And that jingle was वो तंदुरुस्ती की रक्षा करता है लाइफ बॉय. That's the power of
Right.
second level of association. So that soap was not initially doing very well, but then they understood this, they formulated this jingle, and this jingle took the brand from let's say X to becoming the biggest seller in terms of soap.
Right.
And the whole 2 hours of lecture, right? The whole class. At the end of the lecture, we just stood up and we started clapping, and I have never seen that happen. I'm not able
Wow.
to justify what happened in that class through these words, but the whole journey, the whole process, the way he explained that lecture, it was surreal, and I think that is definitely one memory that I would like to quote here.
I
And
Amazing.
agree.
So,
I think that was nostalgic.
yeah,
I remember. I
yeah.
think so we used to have a different sections, and the Prantosh delivered that lecture in all those sections. So after that lecture, everybody was like wow. So that was a wow
so
moment.
we
So I completely agree with
now
Avik.
we know Lifebuoy and this jingle, but at that point in time, we had no option what the lecture is about, where is it going. But eventually, when
Right.
we understood that what he's trying to explain and why Lifebuoy is what it is right now, it is because of
Right.
that concept that he described so beautifully and wonderfully. So
Yeah.
that probably changed my mind and switched me taking into marketing. Otherwise, I was slightly
Oh,
confused between finance and marketing. Anyway, that's the first
amazing.
thing. The second, I would remember that we used to have those FCQs. I know that that doesn't happen. You have your internal evaluations, but the FCQ concept is no longer there. So we used to have those frequently conducted quiz at those point in time, and we just used to get that we used to have like 17, 18 subjects in semester one, and we used to get like you'll have three FCQs, one 10 to 10:30, 10:30 to 11, 11 to 11:30, and the subjects were not revealed at all. So so you will have just three quizzes and the subjects will not reveal. So this was something that used to happen, and that's why I said that the system ensured that you are always on your
toes.
toes. Yeah. So that
Right.
and what Subbu sir used to do is on a 15th August ceremony, there used to be a ceremony that happens in HRD, and I'm sure it happens right now as well. But it used to happen at 7 in the morning of flag hosting and having a national anthem. So from D hostel, Subbu sir understood that it will be very tough for students to come to the campus at 7 in the morning and be a part of that ceremony. So what he did once, that he scheduled our FCQs, because it ensured that your FCQs will not miss, and we scheduled FCQs at 7 in the morning. So and then once we reached at 7, he had a very evil smile on his face and said, "Sorry, FCQs have been cancelled. It was just for you to get into that function." So that's and we all kind of knew that this is going to happen, but we did not want to risk not being a part of the FCQ. So that eventually led all of us coming to the campus and attend that ceremony. So these two things that comes to my mind. Sumit, if you have any, please go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I think the second one was on the cultural fest. So in SCMHRD, we have those annual culture fest where we have the co-curricular activities. So I was performing the bhangra with the with the team, and we wanted to do something special, like a swag, what you call the X factor. So we thought a lot, and decided that we'll enter the stage on a Royal Enfield bullet bike, because Punjabis have a very close association with the bullet bike.
Right.
So we literally entered the dance floor on a bullet bike, and that was not it, right? Because and in the next year, when the same group of people were performing, so then we wanted to do even something more bigger, more special. And guess what? We entered the stage on a tractor. Literally, we
Oh my
got the
God.
tractor in the SCMHRD arena, and we jumped on the dance floor from that tractor. So it was crazy. Like Avek would remember that
Yeah.
that night. But I think that was the most fun part of being in SMHRD, and just had the fondest
I am
memories of
just
those
curious,
days.
Sumit, what would have happened if MBA was for 3 years? I mean, third year, I would expect a helicopter. Nothing less.
Helicopter.
Nothing less.
Yeah, something on the same lines, literally. Yeah, I think we literally raised the bar, and it was
I'm
very
sure
nice.
the helicopter would have come next the third year.
Yeah.
Yeah, had it been.
Yes. Okay. So, so there was a lot of excitement when I told my friends that I'll be talking to you today. And the main question that we always talk about and everyone wants to know is what is the key difference between perception of professionals aspiring to join Amazon and how it actually is working within the company?
So this is very, thanks for asking this. This is a very nice question. So this is purely my personal experience, because I remember when Amazon had come to our campus. In my mind, I was like, yahan mushkil hai, it's difficult. It's such a big company. and we have, I think, 85 odd folks in marketing, and they'll take only one or two. But now, being in Amazon for more than 5 years, I realized, how wrong I was. So the perception that I had created in my mind for Amazon did not allow me to perform to my full potential, on that day. And it impacted my chances, not only for Amazon, but also for the companies to follow. So you see that point? Because, if I had made my perception on a particular company that, it is such a huge, company, they might take one or two, my chances are less. So what I'm trying to, not doing justice is I'm not performing up to my full potential. Right. But if you're being in, and one thing that I've learned, hard, right? Being here in SCMHRD, never ever doubt your potential. I'm very certain that no professional company has a higher bar than your skill level. I'm very certain on that. So no company, and when I say no company, means no company. So always, respect your skill set and perform best of your ability in every opportunity thrown at you. So I think this is what I've learned hard, and I'm the live example in front of you. So and now, since I'm working in the company for so long, it's amazing, to be part of Amazon. Very professional, live by its own principles. The highly transparent in the decision making, and one of the core principles, which Amazon encourages to all the employees is the ownership and the accountability, which gives you the opportunity to experiment your inner entrepreneur. So I think those are the the freedom that you get being a part of a team where you are entitled to make your own decisions and then hold yourself accountable for that. And it's just like a purely any other professional company which live truly by its own principles. So yeah, I think that's how I would define. So never fear or never have that perception, I think, which in fact I was also the victim for that.
I understand. That's a
No, that's a fair point, Sumit, and I think I would second your opinion there. I mean, yeah, there are cases when we look at the global outreach of any MNC, and then we think about, are we capable? We go into that realm of self doubts and all. But I mean, the way I look at Amazon is, yes, the quality manpower, the people I work with, it is good. But like what Sumit said, I think the fact that we are at SCMHRD, you guys are at SCMHRD, we are already above that bar, right? Having said that, from an optics perspective, honestly, there's not much of a difference. You'll have good workplaces, you'll have good work culture, good boardroom meetings, responsible position where you can deliver, right? All these things you'll find in Amazon the way you find in any other corporate setup. I mean, the difference, what makes Amazon is the way it operates, the way it takes its leadership principles really seriously, and inculcates it in every Amazonian. I think when you take those kind of leadership principles and involve them in your decision making, in your communication, then you are very, very focused. What is the end goal we are looking at, and how do we reach there. So to reach there, you have certain set of principles to look for, and then you stick to those to arrive at the final decision. So I think it's from an optics perspective, no difference, but the DNA of the company is definitely, the way it operates is very different from any other company that I have worked for. The leadership principle is definitely one of the few things. The second thing I would say that we at Amazon work really hard to keep the day one culture alive. Like Amazon has been, it's 25 years old now, global outreach. But as a company, we want to work as if it is day one for us, because that ensures speed, that ensures quick decision making, that ensures that we are on our toes. And the whole corporate culture the whole Amazon team works really hard to ensure that day two doesn't seep in. I would request you all to go on YouTube and hear about Jeff's day one philosophy. I think it's brilliant. And that's what he has been trying to get in Amazon. And we are actually afraid of having a day two culture at Amazon. So these are the few things that comes in mind, that how Amazon is different from other companies.
Okay, nice answer.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think I agree. And then I think it's always you ask yourself, just like Avik mentioned, right? Is it one day or day one? So you choose.
Yeah.
And another thing, I want to add on top of Avik is the scale. The scale in which Amazon operates. So I think no other company has yet reached to that scale. So yeah, it's a phenomenal.
Wonderful. Okay. So Amazon operates across multiple verticals such as e-commerce, Prime Videos, AWS, Kindle, and Eco devices. So can you explain to our listeners how the culture and the nature of work varied across these verticals? And also in the process, can you walk us through your own roles?
Yeah, I think so. One of the beauties what I have found working in a large company like Amazon is the unity in diversity. As you mentioned, multiple verticals. There are in fact more than that. However, if there is one thing which remains constant is the Amazon culture. Doesn't matter in which vertical or the org that you are working for. It's same across all verticals. All the principles are applicable across all verticals, right? So there are folks from multiple countries, the ethnicities, the languages, the cultures. Just for that matter, right? The project that I was doing a couple of months back, I had the project team which had more than 14 nationals, right? So see the diversity. There was a single goal, in order to deliver that program. But look at the diversity in the folks who were working, day in and day out on those programs. So I think while there is a vast or there is a multiple number of verticals, but the Amazon culture remains same.
All right.
And talking about my go ahead, Avik.
No.
And then I'll speak about my role.
So I think So like I said in the previous answer, that there are set of 14 principles and they are common across the globe for Amazon, right?
Okay.
So what Sumit was referring to, the culture. I think everywhere in every geography, people speak the same language and think from the leadership principles backwards. So that creates a common platform for all Amazonians to take their decision or to communicate, right? So the culture remains same, and it really helps, given the scale of the company, it really helps for us to communicate with other geos, right? So culture remains far or less constant in terms of leadership principles, but there might be few changes depending about the roles and the vertical, but by and large, the way Amazon operates remains constant. So I'll tell you, I work for a devices team. I am based out of Mumbai. The way we communicate in our meetings, if I were to go and sit in a let's say a European market meeting, Europe geo meeting, I would be able to understand what they're doing because the language that we speak or the way we operate remains the same. So it is not going to be a lot different. And me being from India geo, and if I go into a US geo meeting or a UK geo meeting, it will not be different at all. So I think that's something which again, those leadership principles enables us to do.
Okay.
And so that's pretty much about it. Please, Sumit, you wanted to add something in this?
Yeah, so I think rightly so. And it comes and the principles help us build that framework. So like I am a senior TPM in the technical program manager in Amazon for the last 5 years now. So primarily my job is to drive the technical programs which automate the financial parts of Amazon. So basically, I'm a part of the transportation core trans business in Amazon, based out of Hyde. And so, in a nutshell, basically, whenever you order from something, so there is a shipping cost to it. So my team takes care of all the shipping costs that we pay to the third party vendors, on time and accurately. So the just coming back to the the principles. So in the professional world, at a lot of times we are challenged with making a decision faster. We are challenged with making a decision better. So the framework which helps us making that decision, whether it's a one way door or it's a reversible decision. So the thumb rule says that if it is a reversible decision, you should not take more time to make that decision, because that you can come back, you can revert it. But if you know that it's a one way door where your decision making may impact the long term bigger picture, so at that point of a time you want to assess the facts, the data behind it, do all your the number crunching, and then make a decision. So you can prolong your decision making if it is a one day door. So I think these are the small the corners which are around the Amazon principles, which help us make the the decision in a single threaded way across geos, as Avik mentioned, across countries. So that is really very pleasing to know.
Right. So, one question which I feel is the Indian market is very different, be it in terms of marketing, supply chain, logistics. So, I want to know how often do you have to change or adapt to new approaches and strategies?
I would say, adaptability is a superset or a super skill set, I would say, right? Because now at times, the the changes which are happening in the world around us are so frequent and so fast that you are only as good as your last performance. Yes. Right. So adaptability comes to the top of the, I think the parameters where, one has to sustain in this competitive professional world. So, and COVID is a, very recent example where, for COVID, so in Amazon, what happens, we have something called a peak. Peak is basically the holiday season, which starts from, before Christmas, Thanksgiving in US, and then it goes up to, New Year, where a lot of people, order from Amazon, and the volume, folds, 2x, 3x and all. So, but in COVID, nobody was prepared. So like, in March, nobody knew that, something like this would occur, that everybody will be in the lockdown. And being in lockdown, what happened was people started, using Amazon more, because they didn't want to go out, but they had to, they had to use things that they need for their daily use. So, the ordering rate in Amazon suddenly spiked up. We had not prepared. But how I think the Amazon, all the teams which are responsible to making sure that the orders is fulfilled, packed, picked, and then delivered to your doorstep. So all the teams combined together without any SLA, scaled up their system in such a way that the customer experience is not, impacted. And in a short period of time, address the COVID, not only from the safety standpoint, starting from our warehouses, but also, from the operational standpoint as well. So I think that was one of the highlights, for the company. While it was not something which should have happened, but where we are, But yeah, I think adaptability is a very key factor on this one.
Yeah, I mean, see, I talked about the day one culture in the company, and when we talk about day one culture, what it essentially means is. Like it requires a lot of processes changes, a different strategy. Is this the best process? Can we do something better? And Amazon as a company promotes that kind of culture, right? So no process or no mechanism is good enough. There's definitely a scope for improvement. And like I said, Amazon promotes it big time. I can tell you my example. So I wanted, it's 1 year into my job, and I wanted to do something. And I was like, not sure whether it will work, it will not work. I just pitched that idea to my boss. And he said, Avik, if you want to go ahead, do it, fail, do it, but fail fast. You do it. It's a two-way door decision. It's a reversible decision. You do it right now. It might work, it might not work. If it works, we are going to replicate it across. If it doesn't, it's okay. We'll have a learning. right? So if you want to fail fast, but just quickly get it out of the system. So Amazon promotes these kind of new strategies, and the world we are in, I'm sure that the new approaches and strategies are to be a part of any company, any corporate, if he wants to sustain in the market. Because if anyone is uh, resistant to change or resistant to taking new approaches, the days are limited. So that's something the corporates do not have a choice but to implement new strategies. And as Amazon, like Amazon promotes these kind of changes
Right.
and behaviors.
Right. So this answers my question beautifully. Okay. So networking is an important component in life of management professional, especially with the alumni network. So could you highlight how connect with your batchmates and alumni of the institute has helped you in your career?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think this is a very interesting question. So yes, while my answer is yes, networking and connect does help. And when I joined Amazon, so we had the SCMHRD alumni in the company, whom I reached out and discussed, and what is the culture and all that stuff. Uh,
Okay.
and one of the privileges of being an alumni from the premier institute like SCMHRD is that it's very likely that your peers, your batchmates, your seniors are at esteemed positions across industries, right?
Right.
So you can reach
Yes.
out to them, if you need to understand more about the company, the role that you want to do, the opportunities, or even the industry at large, right? But
Right.
having said that, right, there is a catch, right? Because networking might help you get a better job, get a better package, get a better working atmosphere, but it does not guarantee you sustainability, right? It's like an
Yes.
entry ticket to the professional arena, right?
Right.
Once you are in, you have to perform on your own, right? So there your networking will not help once you are in that professional world. So as the old saying goes, right? So apart from having a spark in your mind, you need to have a fire in your belly. So
Right.
if that fire is missing, that spark might help you in once or twice in your professional life, but in the long run, if you see your professional career of 20, 30 years,
Right.
so is what most more matters is how you evolve yourself as an individual being in that professional world. So I think yes, networking does help, but on the other side, there is a catch, which based on my personal experience, I wanted to share.
Okay.
Yeah, I think yes and no. I completely agree with Sumit. I think your college name, your friends, your connects, your college name would be relevant in the industry for, let's say, 1 year, maximum 2 years. But then it's all about about your performance, right? And
Right.
like Sumit said, your connects are important to the tune of getting you an entry, not even an entry, like probably can help you understand where are the openings and forwarding the CV. But the whole process,
Correct.
the grind process, is something that you need to go through, right?
Right.
So
Right.
that remains constant for everyone. That does not change. So yes, it might help you, but that help would not be. Uh, I mean, yeah, that'll just give you a nudge, but that is not the complete story.
Right. I understand.
Yeah, and Avik, you will, and I think you would concur on this. And
Yeah,
we have
absolutely.
seen in our job profiles, right? We have seen in our job profile. So there might be somebody who might not have the kind of the education like most of the team members, but he might be able to perform better than them,
Yeah.
and the vice versa.
Okay, so coming to the last question. So our current batch is different, right? So never has any batch gone through such a circumstance that we are going through. We haven't even visited our college. We have not been allocated hostels. We have not even met anyone of us physically. So, is there any message you would like to give to us?
On the, I guess on the professional front, yeah, there are a couple of things I want to leave the current batch and the folks as well. So it's although it's unfortunate that they have not been experienced the college life, the campus life, but I think this was something which was not in control for any one of us.
Agree.
But
Yes.
now coming to the message. So what I've learned is in the professional world, you're always valued to the degree of your point of view or the quality of your thoughts, right? And how you raise your quality of thoughts is again going back to what are the people that you talk to, what is your peer group, what are the books you read. So I think when they go out and face the professional world, so always remember that your value in the industry is to the degree of your point of view. And the second part is you're always paid to the degree of complexity of problem you solve, right? So this is my personal habit now, because somebody who was mentoring me a year back had taught me this. So basically I keep a journal in which I write two things. So one is what did I learn today, and what problem did I solve, right? The time horizon can be 1 week, 1 day, one month, but I think this is something that we should take it as a habit, that what problem, being in a professional world, what problem did I solve today, and what was its impact, and what did I learn, right? And I think these are the things which helps us introspect into ourselves, because sometimes we become too complacent and comfortable in our day-to-day roles and jobs, that we forget that whether are we learning, or what is the value that we are adding into our the professional space. So I think these are the two things that I want to leave the current batch. It's unfortunate for them to not be in college, but I wish them all the very best, and just stay safe.
Yeah, there are two words, chill maro yaar, thoda sa. I think, see, I'll tell you. Yes, the most important thing is, of course, we come for learnings and placements. Yes, placements weeks are there; they're tough, but those 2-3 weeks are not going to define what anyone is going to achieve in professional or personal life. Right? In the larger scheme of things, it doesn't matter. And I'm just repeating what I heard from one of my from one of the guest lectures that I attended during the placement season, right? And that statement stuck with me, that in the larger scheme of things, the 2 weeks are not going to matter. These 2 weeks are not going to define what you're going to achieve, because we have the ability. That's why we are in SCMHRD, right? Eventually, we'll do it. We'll do something really, really good, right? So, so all I want to say, in addition to this, yes, there's one thing that I would like to tell to everyone is, I think one thing that we need to definitely focus on is preparation. I think there's no alternate to preparation. And when I say preparation, it remotely hints towards what Sumit said. When I see preparation, I don't mean that 5 days before any exam, you just start reading and preparing. I think when I see preparation is what I mean to say, it needs to be a continuous process. A day or two before any company would not help. It might help you. People can improvise and help, but not that improvisation might not be helpful for everyone. But preparation is something that needs to be a continuous process. And if it is built up in the routine, then the power of routine works mysteriously, right? So it needs to be inculcated. It has to be a regular part of your daily routine, and then over a period of time, you will see that your knowledge level, your skill set have definitely improved from where you started, right? So of course, prepare. No alternate to preparation, and thoda chill marna hai, because this is definitely not going to define your future. Yes, it will probably launch you in a good way, but it will just, like I said, it will be 1 year or 2 years. In the larger scheme of things, it will not matter. So those are my two bits.
Yes. Okay. Very, very
Yeah,
well
agree.
said. Yes, so I'm sure this will bring a smile to everyone who is going to listen to this podcast. Amazing. So that was really insightful and a very interesting session with you. I am so glad I got a chance to do this. And a big, big, big thank you to you for taking out time and talking to us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And thanks, Shudit. Yeah, thanks, Sanat. And thanks, Avik. And it was great to connect, after all these years. So this platform provided that opportunity as well. So thanks to the ART team as well for starting the series.
Guys, keep it up. Just
Thank you.
all the best to the entire time.